Title: The Orphan and the Sword. He had no name, only a whisper in the wind that the villagers called Stray. An orphan raised by ashes and silence, he scavenged the remnants of a broken world, burned temples, fallen soldiers, forgotten homes. Survival was his only goal, until one stormy night changed everything. That night, thunder cracked the sky as if the heavens were splitting apart. Seeking shelter, Stray stumbled into the half-buried remains of an old shrine at the edge of the mountain. Most had forgotten its name, but stories still whispered of a blade sealed within, one forged not by man, but by a celestial flame. Inside, moonlight filtered through a collapsed ceiling, illuminating a stone pedestal. Embedded in it was a blade, untouched by rust, glowing faintly as if alive. Stray, drawn to it by a force he couldn't explain, reached out. His fingers brushed the hilt. A searing heat surged through him. Visions flashed in his mind, wars fought by sword-wielding guardians, empires rising and crumbling, and a warrior who looked just like him, standing alone against an army. The sword pulsed, accepting him. When he pulled it free, the ground trembled and the shrine roared with awakening. From that moment, the blade refused to leave his side. It whispered secrets, techniques, memories, names he'd never known yet felt intimately familiar. Stray began to train in secret, guided by the voice of the sword. His body grew strong, his movements precise. He was no longer just a scavenger, he was becoming something else. Months passed. The village, once forgotten by lords and kings, was invaded by a ruthless band of mercenaries. They took what little food remained and threatened to burn it all down. But when Stray stepped between them and the villagers, sword in hand, they laughed, until he moved. What followed was a blur of flame and steel. The blade danced through the air as if it had waited lifetimes for this moment. The mercenaries fell one by one to a warrior born not of noble blood, but of hunger, fire, and fate. When the final man dropped to his knees, begging for mercy, Stray lowered his sword. "This village is under my protection," he said quietly. That day, the orphan found more than a weapon. He found his name, etched into legend by the blade's light. He would never be Stray again. He was the guardian reborn,